Good run after catch. But here's crazy. What position is he playing?
Well, it doesn't matter.
No, but he's playing Z.
They move him around, no chance. They move him around. But I know what you're saying.
Let me ask you a question one more time. What position is he playing?
He plays Z.
That's
right,
Z. That's what he
which is crazy because the Z doesn't get. There's never been a Z that is even in the top 50 in receiving. So yes, they move around. They move around lots of guys. But that's also impressive. He's playing Z, lining up there and doing what he's done.
Well, see, the big thing is Cody Fajardo understands this offense better than any other quarterback understands a coach's offense, and he's been able to utilize these players in ways like you're talking about. Take a guy like Tyson Philpott and know how to use him and get him open.
And it was amazing, too, when Austin Mack left. Everyone thought, okay, is there going to be that period of time? It was instantaneous with Cody and him, too. It has been quite something. As we take a look now at the ranks currently in the CFL, Philpott second in the league with 564 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns this season. Alexander Holland's just 9 yards ahead of him. As Milt mentioned, it's been 14 years since a Canadian finished a season leading the CFL in receiving. We'll see if this young man can do it.
It's going to be a Philpott year.
That is caught. Tyson Philpott! Touchdown! Philpott down the seam, makes the grab and slides into the end zone.
How about Tyson Philpott? This guy is absolutely on fire.
The man of the moment, number 6, Tyson Philpott.
Cody trusted me, I trusted him. You know, we make plays on and off the field.
Harvey's believes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So our Angus burger is made with 100% Canadian beef, raised without the use of antibiotics, added hormones, or steroids. Nothing broke about that, but you can still fix it however you want. Harvey's.
It's a beautiful day.
Not necessary to dial a 1 when calling.
Get it done in one with the LG Wash Combo all-in-one washer dryer. Wash and dry in 2 hours without transferring your laundry. And use up to 60% less energy with heat pump drying. That's innovation everyone can enjoy. Buy now.
The first electric Mustang has huge shoes to fill. Because after 60 years of thrill chasing, track racing, and hair raising, you start to get a bit of a reputation for stirring things up. The only EV that's a Mustang.
Forgiveness isn't just a feeling. It's a number you can measure. The higher the number, the more stable and forgiving the driver. Introducing the all-new QI10 Max, with the stability and forgiveness of 10K inertia, the most forgiving driver we've ever made. 10K forgiveness meets tailor-made speed in the all-new QI10 Max. Only from TaylorMade.
Toronto leading the league in rushing yards with an impressive 123.8 yards per game. The person responsible for their ground attack, Kadeem Cash and Carey. Will he cash in tonight? So we take a look at the FanDuel 5's most popular anytime TD props for this evening's game. Toronto's Cameron Dukes is the most popular pick, followed by Montreal's Tyson Philpott. The Owls defense making this list as well. Nearly 4-1 odds. Time for the expert picks. I will start with you, Coach.
I'm going to take Kadeem Carey to carry the mail in for the Argos. They need to get that running game going, take the pressure off the kid. I'm taking Kadeem Carey.
That was clever. Kadeem Carey mail. I like that.
Yeah.
Tyson Philpott. He's minus 150. What are we doing here? He's a receiver. He can't be minus 150. If you guys take your receivers at minus 150, shame on you. I'm taking the Argos defense at plus 500.
Wow.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter the odds. If you want to win this game, just pick who's going to score a touchdown.
Why do you keep doing that?
Why?
Guys, learn how to play the game properly. Plus 500. It's a long shot, but I'm swinging for the fence. I'm a little bit behind, as you'll tell by the leaderboard. I got to swing for the fences here. Long shot.
It doesn't matter the plus or minus. You just got to get the right pick, Junior.
You're wrong, by the way, but I'm not going to waste our time talking about it. You guys are both wrong. You don't know how to play the game, but all right.
I'm going with the second best quarterback sneaker as far as quarterbacks go in the league, and that's Caleb Evans. Number one, I think, is Chris Stradler. But Caleb Evans, these Montreal Alouettes, they make a lot of big plays, and a lot of times they get down to the five to the goal line, and who do they put in quarterback? Caleb Evans. I could see him getting 2 or 3 quarterback sneaks for touchdowns a day, so that's
the second best quarterback sneaker.
That's pretty cool right there. Huh?
Can you wear those? Can you wear those?
By the way, for the first time this season, you didn't cheat off me either, because I don't put my picks in the group chat, because all you were doing was like, yep, I'm going to pick that person, that person. So now I'm stealing JB's picks. I'm waiting for him. So I also took Kadeem Carey. So this is my new strategy going forward as we recap right now who are TD picks.
To tweet out something for us?
No. So I'm back on Montreal's. Oh, did I take? Oh, shoot, I didn't. I took Tyson Philpott.
You took Tyson Philpott.
See, this is what's messing me up, is I don't contribute to the group chat anymore, so I don't. But you know what? Philpott's great, too. So I believe in Philpott. Al's defense was among the FanDuel 5. Chesy's going with the Toronto defense. Milt, you're going with Montreal's Caleb Evans. Well, Jim, you did pick Kadeem Cash and Carey.
BC Lions in complete control with their offense. Vernon Adams just on fire. Throwing deep, wide open, touchdown, stand back.
It reminded me of flag football. They were running scot-free, and Vernon Adams was having a field day.
Tosses into the hands of Hollins this time. He was open. He's still going. He's got a touchdown.
The BC Lions were certainly on fire, and Vernon Adams was happy to deliver the mail for his team.
How convenient we are now joined by the BC Lions quarterback Vernon Adams Jr. VA, before we even start this interview, what is going on with the hair here? I've never seen this.
Oh, yeah. I got a hair appointment here soon, right after this, actually. So I'm going to go get braids and cut down the sides. So I'll be looking good for game day.
Milt Steele says he loves it, so maybe you should keep it and see what happens. In all seriousness, congrats on the start of the season. It's been so much fun watching the BC Lions, 4 straight victories. But I think the best part is just seeing the joy in this team. What is the mood like in this atmosphere and around the guys?
Well, it's fun. Winning is fun. So we're locked in. We're having a great time at practice. Defense winning days, offense winning days, but it's good. So it's competitive, and we love it.
They're even having fun with you during an interview. You have to like it. When you look at this offense, you yourself, you're on pace for 6,300 yards. You've got this 3-headed monster right now of McInnes, Hollins, Stanback. Offensively, what is making this team gel so much, in your opinion?
Just the preparation we're putting in as a team, the coaches. We're all working hard, and that's it. We're just trying to be efficient at a high level, take care of the ball, get these playmakers the ball, let them do the rest.
Big game this weekend against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I know every game is big, but it feels like this one has a little more to it with the Riders being undefeated. What are your expectations for that one?
Yeah, we're fighting for first place, so it is a big game, and we know that. So we're excited for the opportunity. That's a good team over there. I've already said it all week. Corey Mason's doing a great job with the defense and with that team as a whole. So just excited for the opportunity. The fans are going to be hype and being loud in the dome. So we're excited.
Vernon, appreciate you taking the time. Enjoy the haircut. Davis says he's jealous of the hair as well, by the way.
I might get the Davis and the Milt Stiegel here soon.
You should. They want you to. They're nodding at me right now. Yep. That'll happen. Appreciate it, VA.
That's awesome. I appreciate y'all. Keep up the good work.
And you know what, VA, you keep up the good work, too. He's first in every offensive category here. Absolutely incredible. Leading the league in passing yards with 1,752, as I mentioned there in the interview, on pace for 6,300. That would be just behind Doug Flutie, which is incredible. McInnes, by the way, he also set a career high in receptions, receiving yards, 2 touchdown catches for the second time in his career last week as well. How much fun was that game if you were a BC Lions fan, not so much Hamilton Tiger Cat fan? But, man, you look at this team, and they're just rolling. And, Ches, even though Saskatchewan Roughriders are coming in here right now, Shea Patterson's got to lead this team. This is a much different team than maybe we would have expected at this point. But it's still a huge game on paper.
It absolutely is, and if the BC Lions have a bye week coming up too. This is a big week for BC. They have some guys coming back. When TJ Lee's coming back potentially after this week, we'll see how this works out. They had a pretty good receiver that might be coming back into the mix too to go along with this guy Alex Hollins. But yeah, Hatcher come back too. So if they can get some guys back, some key vets back with what they've been doing, they're averaging 10 yards per pass. That's insane. Like this is an offense that's doing some truly special things. One thing about Sask, though, there's not a ton of pressure on Sask. You got to give people have been giving Mark Mueller a lot of credit. And I want to say this. You got to get the ball out fast. That's what Trevor Harris has done. So they have the fewest amount of pressures on them. You think it's partly because of Trevor, but it's been Shea as well. So it's also Mark Mueller giving them plenty of options, outlets, and just dialing up things to make his quarterback comfortable. So let's give the tip of the cap to Mark Mueller as well. Fewest pressures on these quarterbacks, and you're playing your second string.
Well, they're going to have to keep the ball away from the BC Lions. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I think the Saskatchewan defense is up with the top in the league. That secondary is absolutely lights out. The 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter against Toronto last week kind of catapulted them into this. Now they move into a different class playing against VA. But they're going to need to hold the ball and keep the ball away from them, have Shea Patterson play efficiently like he did last week. If they can do that and go into BC and win, I mean, what a monster win that would be to give them the lead going in to, the rest of the games they'll play. They'll play 3 games. Right. And to get that first win would be great, especially with Trevor Harris out.
Yeah, VA is playing some historic football. Yep. The way he's out there producing, the way he's showcasing his skill set, it's going to be tough to beat him. And you mentioned Shea. Is he going to try to do too much to try to keep up with VA? Saskatchewan, they're leading the league in points, but a lot of that had to do with Trevor Harris. And now we're going to have to score some points because we know these BC Lions with VA, they can score some points. So it's the game of the week right now.
I know.
Absolutely.
I know, like, the biggest rap. Obviously, you're going to have Bombers taking on the Riders, and that one's always a marquee one. But there is something going now with the BC Lions and Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Watermelon Smash, by the way, always a fun event out west. As we take a look at the rest of your Week 6 schedule, the Stampeders taking on the Blue Bombers. Great game on Friday Night Football as well. Riders and Lions are Saturday night, and it all wraps up with the Red Blacks and the Elks. How about you guys? Let's cue up VA one more time. Can we have that hair? Oh, come on. I actually like it. I think he should roll with it. Oh, what?
Oh, yes.
We're going to call this the VA way. Come on, coach.
Get him. Leroy Buster.
Baby, that's it.
Look good, coach. Look good.
If you never thought you could see yourself driving an EV, then don't. See yourself in this. The all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning. The only EV that's an F-150.
There's a lot resting on Bellingham's shoulders.
Well, it's only the weight of the nation. Just like it's only expectations. It's only the next big thing. It's only making history. It's only the beginning.
The average Canadian cup holder contains roughly $3. Coincidentally, Harvey's creamy hand-spun milkshakes and refreshing new frozen drinks are only $3 all summer long. Funny how some things just work out. Harvey's.
Greatness hurts. The aches, the stumbles, the falls. But with Tylenol, you can keep chasing it.
It's all a story. And you're but one part in it. You know what you must do.
I want revenge. What have you done?
History will paint you a villain, grasping for power.
Somebody pour me a drink, somebody pour me a smoke. I'm about to get on a bus. I'm about to get on it.
Is leading the league in tackles. Tyrese Beverett with 34 already this season. Also leading the CFL with 2 forced fumbles. And how good has this Montreal D been, allowing less than 20 points per game for opponents? The Alouettes have allowed the fewest offensive TDs so far this season, just 8. They have the best pass defense. They also haven't allowed a quarterback to throw over 300 yards this season. It's been ridiculous. Here's Kenzie Darnell Sankey.
Now we look at this Alouettes defense, again, just injuries. You got some guys in new positions here. So how do you guys maintain your typical caliber of play here?
You know, it's next man up mentality. Everyone on this defense can play ball. Everyone's ready for their time when their number's called, and some guys' their number's called today, and we expect them to go out there and perform.
We look at the Argos, a strong ground game, so how do you just slow it down?
Yeah, we just stick to our assignment, fill the gaps we need to fill, and fly around and hit.
Have fun.
Thank you.
If we were really committed on this panel, we would have all had the face paint done. You know, not just the hair, we would have gone to the next level. Ches, let's talk about this. The defense has been so incredibly good. I mean, they did show weakness on the run in the last game. We were talking about Toronto, you're probably running the ball a ton tonight, but overall, I mean, this unit's just been so impressive.
Where's the weakness? That's, you know, you schemed and scouted teams, Jim, and you try to find the weakness and circle that guy. I don't see one. Tonight, let's take a look at the quad, not in the middle of the field, though. We'll see what happens there. Maybe it's Cosby, who's been great, probably the rookie of the year for them. Maybe he moves back there to safety. Titus Wall comes in. Maybe he plays some Sam or vice versa. One of those two guys are probably the guys I see playing those two positions. But a big miss, because one thing that the quad does is he travels and gains a lot of ground. So not having him hurts them back there.
And you talk about weakness. I don't think they have a weakness. I know Kate mentioned that they haven't given up 300 passer yardage to any team, and only 100 receiving yard, 143. And last week you talked about the running game, but no individual runners rush for more than 65 yards. So there's no individual on offense that's getting in rhythm. So that's why they're not giving up any big plays. So it's going to be difficult for Cameron Dukes and these Toronto Argonauts offense to get going against his defense.
Well, this is a tough fill, though, trying to fill for Dequoy, because you're not just losing maybe the best free safety in the league, but you're losing a Canadian starter and replacing him with an American.
Yep.
So now they have to find that elsewhere, and it'll come from a combination of Derek Wigan, from Canton Arcou, the linebacker. When they go to a 3-man front, he'll play, and then a Demi Bergman. Because they need to play 2 on defense all the time. So it's going to be great to watch them make the adjustment.
You keep that GM hat on all the time.
All the time. You know what? At least it's a bonus for the Argos receivers, too, right? Here's Kenzie Lalone standing by with DeVaris Daniels.
Well, DeVaris, let's just start with the Alouettes defense, one that at times can be unpredictable. How do you guys approach that?
It's all about us. I don't think we have to try to make them adjust to us, get the running game going early, come out with a tone, set the tone early, and just try to execute our game plan. I think that's all we can do.
Trying to put last week's game in the past at all, but did you and Cameron Dukes receivers and quarterback discuss it all this week and how to move forward?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's a young quarterback, man. We're going to have growing pains. We know that. We were prepared for it. Cam is a hard worker. Man, he gonna come out here. He gonna show what he. He got it, so we're not worried at all.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Daniels and company hoping to get back on. On track, the Alouette fans, though, they hope their team extends this winning streak. To 14 games dating back to last season kickoff. From Molson Stadium, coming up right after this.
I want your body on.
This week only at Domino's, get unlimited mini-priced pizzas for 50% off when you order online. Choose any size pizza you want, any crust you want, and any toppings you want. Oh, and any number of pizzas you want, too. Get 50% off your perfect pizza, or pizzas, this week only at Domino's.
The Chevrolet Silverado. Built to take you where the trail ends. So you can go beyond.
It's the employee pricing event at Chevrolet on Silverado 1500 Crew Cab models. Get up to $10,500 off a 2024 Silverado High Country. Offer ends July 25th.
Welcome to Norfolk.
You can find value in every aisle. With Price Drop, we have thousands of lowered prices every day.
Captain,
An approaching pirate spaceship has established contact.
That's all we need.
Surrender your spaceship, or we will turn you to dust.
Go ahead, take it.
Excuse me?
Take it. It's all yours.
Just know that our spaceship can't go faster than cable speed.
Oh, I see. So if you want it, you got it.
They're fleeing, Captain.
They don't even want it for free?
You might not know how to fix a broken air conditioner. But we do.
That was fast.
And if you need a new one, make no monthly payments and pay no interest until summer 2025.
Call on Reliance. Introducing the new Carolina Barbecue Original Chicken Sandwich at Burger King. Topped with Carolina barbecue sauce, crisp bacon, and clearly some very crunchy hickory seasoned potato sticks. Only for a limited time.
For the second time in 3 weeks, the Alouettes and the Argonauts go head-to-head. The Alouettes looking to remain undefeated on the season so far, while Toronto looking to snap their two-game slide. It has been 14 years since a Canadian finished a season leading the CFL in receiving. Tyson Philpott, currently second in the league with 564 receiving yards, on pace for 2,000. Will he get there? 5 touchdowns, no interceptions in his first 2 games, both wins. But he has come back down to earth since then. 0 TDs, 5 picks in his last 2 games. Can Cameron Dukes turn it around against the defending champions on Thursday Night Football, presented by New York Fries? Hello, Canada. Welcome inside the CFL on TSN Studios. Kate Burdess alongside Jim Barker, Davis Sanchez, Milt Stiegel as we get set for the Montreal Alouettes taking on the Toronto Argonauts. And we just found out Keon Julian Grant will not be in this game this evening, injured in warm-ups. That is a tough one from the get-go. And for the Toronto Argos, this has been a tough stretch, the last 2 games at least. And Cameron Dukes getting pulled in that last game, Milt. And we just think at this point you need a little confidence, running the ball maybe a little bit more, but this is going to be a tough test for them.
It's going to be a tough test. Cameron Dukes, his toughest opponent is not the Montreal Alouettes today. It's his head coach, Ryan Dinwiddie. Because I have a feeling that if Cameron Dukes struggles early, I give him a quarter and a half, Ryan Dinwiddie's going to make a change. We saw it in last game when the game was still in the balance. Against the Rough Riders, he took them out. So Cameron Dukes has to play better earlier in this game or he won't finish this game at all.
They have a better chance to win with the third-string quarterback in there, with Crum. Do you think so?
With Crum? With Archer? I mean, with
Arbuckle. Yeah.
Well, he's going to find out.
Yeah.
He's going to find out.
Look, I think you have to give guys a shot, and I think your best chance to win is with this young man. He's made some plays with his legs. I know a couple of interceptions weren't his fault. The first 2, you could argue, weren't his fault. I let this guy play, but hey, we saw what I'm with you. I saw what Scott did. I think I saw what Ryan did. I think that I agree. His leash is short.
Well, a big part of how Cameron Dukes plays is up to Ryan Dinwiddie and the kind of formations and the kind of plays he calls for him to not put him in position to have to win the game. Put him in position to manage a game. Let Kadeem Carey, let Tavares Daniels, let some of these other guys take the pressure off of him so he can just go out and do what he did early in the season. First 2 games when Dinwiddie was calling genius games. So I think the pressure's on Ryan Dinwiddie.
Yeah, and things turned for Dukes, too, when he played against the Montreal Alouettes. So we'll see what happens in this one tonight. Montreal are going to start 6-0 for the first time since 2006. And by the way, shout out to the Montreal fans, too. Love seeing this stadium packed once again. Should be a great one. We'll get you there right after this.
Is that a David Sanchez shirt?
No, I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Fresh cut fries, cheesy curds, piping hot gravy. All I need is that Canadian classic, baby.
Give your taste buds something to sing about at New York Fries.
Yeah, I like to swing. And I like to get cash back when I swing. Just download the browser extension and shop as usual. And click to activate cashback or coupons at hundreds of stores. Cha-ching.
To know every time you get in your car that you are consciously participating.
Words aside, let's check out what progress feels like.
Yep, that's fast.
In a snowplow? Yeah, we're in a snowplow. What's the problem? Actually, if you damage any city property... What the hell was that?
A lot of blind spots in a snowplow.
This isn't my first time in Beverly Hills.
Please tell me you didn't get arrested again.
Twice, but I broke out.
Oh, man, I love a good hotel breakfast.
Same.
Yeah, so close to the stadium. I managed to get the last room for $190.
I booked the last room a week ago.
Booked yesterday. One night, $140.
What?
How?
Some sites panic you into booking their last room, but they don't have all the availability. Instead, use Trivago. Trivago compares hotel prices from hundreds of sites, so you can save up to $50 a night.
Well, at least I got the last ticket to the game.
So did I.
Hotel Trivago.
What will you do when the power goes out? Power outages can be unpredictable and inconvenient, but with a Generac home standby generator, your life goes on uninterrupted because you'll have power when you need it the most.
The number one thing to prepare for is extended power outages. Don't make it so hard on yourself. Have a Generac home standby generator.
And if you call now, you will receive a free 5-year warranty. Call or go online now to request your free quote. Power your life with Generac.
Do you experience IBS symptoms like abdominal discomfort, gas, and bloating? Taking Align probiotics can help. Align's probiotic strain was developed by gastroenterologists and adds good bacteria that helps relieve IBS symptoms. Try Align today. Also try Align Advanced with 5 times more good bacteria. And join the Align Healthy Gut Team Up. Learn what millions of Align users already know. How great it feels to support your gut health. Sign up at alignprobiotics.ca.
Helen Mowat of Vancouver, BC. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save on Foods' $1 million touchdown to win. If the kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Helen. Let's get you to Montreal and join Marshall Ferguson and Dwayne Ford for kickoff of week number 6 in the CFL.
Thank you, Kate, and welcome to Montreal, where the red-hot Alouettes continue to push for historic levels of early season success. The last team to beat them 14 games ago, these Argonauts. Can the Boatmen put Montreal's hot streak on ice? We find out tonight as we welcome you inside Percival Molson Stadium. Marshall Ferguson, Dwayne Ford, Kenzie Lalonde at field level for us throughout the evening. This defense for Montreal, Dwayne, really has been the story. Despite the fact Cody Fajardo is playing great, the man in the middle is the story.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got a guy who is an absolute tone setter. He's determines the attitude for this entire Montreal team. You look at his record since he joined the club, 13-1. The only loss coming in Darnell Sankey's first game. He makes this team a little meaner, a little tougher. Now a guy who does the exact same thing for the Toronto Argonauts, and he looks to set that tone for his team tonight. Their middle linebacker, Winton McManus. We expect to see some big hits from both these guys.
There's Ryan Dinwiddie trying to get his group to regroup after a disappointing loss on the road against the Riders last week. Had a chance to win that one late, and, well, this team had a chance to win it late as well, and they pulled it off. They continue their hot streak to start the season as Jason Moss leads this group into week number 6. They got a bye week coming up after this one. It's been raining for the last couple of days here. The storms have rolled through much of the East Coast, and we are set to get things going. Thursday Night Football presented by New York Fries. It's the Owls and the Argos on TSN as Janarian Grant returns the opening kickoff. Got some room up across the 40. A great starting field position here for the Toronto Argonauts. Exactly what they needed.
For sure, and you hope that this field position gives Cameron Dukes a little bit of a boost as well, coming off a couple of tough starts, difficult outcomes. But Toronto Argonauts, when they have been at their best, it's been when Ryan Dinwiddie has been able to keep Dukes within his comfort zone, not forcing things. That's the goal tonight, but always a challenge against this Montreal defense, Marshall.
picks up right where it left off last Saturday night in a victory over the Stampeders. Loud early as they'll hand it off to Kadeem Carey, the former Stamp. Gets the opening carry here, and it is the Argonauts starting offense.
And along that offensive line, we'll keep an eye on Ryan Hunter, one of those first-round picks from the great O-line draft of 2018, a real pros pro. We had a great chat with Ryan this week. We'll keep an eye on Mackay Polk, the rookie in that receiving core. He's managed to stay in the starting lineup as different guys have been hurt, and now particularly as the Argos go with 4 Americans in the receiving core, a lot of their Canadian receivers fighting that injury bug.
Dukes checks in at the line of scrimmage. And a flag comes up before he can get it off. Did he take too long early on? Ben Major, our referee this evening.
Second down.
Calling it in. It is a time count. And so it was too much time at the line of scrimmage, and that one hurts for Ryan Dinwiddie after that great 42-yard opening kickoff return.
But I talked about putting Cameron Dukes in position to be successful, to remain confident. Big part of that is staying ahead of the sticks. They got to avoid those penalties, staying ahead in terms of field position as well.
Here's where the Alouettes thrive. Second and long. Dukes rolls to his right, extends the play. Nobody available. Trying to find anyone, and instead he's going to get run over by the first man out of the birdcage tonight, Jeffrey Cantinarku, the rookie out of Memphis.
Yeah, and this guy has been the biggest pearl in this year's draft class thus far, the most productive guy in the early going, Cantinarku. From his linebacker spot, we're going to see him play a lot of snaps on defense, and particularly as they balance the ratio with Marc-Antoine Dequoy out of the lineup tonight. 9th overall pick in this year's draft. He's been a beauty.
They're sitting there on draft night wondering why he isn't off the board yet. A lot of good players, but certainly one of the best, and he makes a play there. James Letcher Jr. gets his first touch of the ball game, and a talented return out across the 20 as Cody Fajardo and the Montreal Alouettes offense will come out onto the field. 12th career game-winning drive last week against Calgary.
Yeah, Cody Fajardo and this entire Alouettes offense playing with such a level of confidence. Remarkable performance, as you said last week, with that come from behind win, as there just never seemed to be a bit of panic from any member of the group. Calgary had that lead going into the 4th quarter, but it was as if Montreal had them right where they wanted them.
This crowd, as educated as any, they quiet right down after the opening defensive possession, and they go back here offensively to Cole Speaker, who had his best game against these Argonauts back in week number 4 as we see the Alouettes starting offense.
Yeah, and I want to keep an eye on that offensive line. And Justin Lawrence, this is a guy who's a winner through his first 5 CFL seasons, 3 Grey Cup rings with 3 different teams. Pretty good teammate to have around. And Walter Fletcher, you talk about Fletcher. Now, through the first 5 games, Montreal has had 600-yard games from receivers, 4 different receivers, Fletcher becoming the 4th last week against Calgary.
Fajardo on 2nd and 6. Pressure on.
Rudess sur le pas, roughing the passer. Toronto numéro 19, number 19. C'est une petite 15 verges. It's a 15-yard penalty. Premier essai, automatic first down for Montreal.
Here you see the rush coming from the outside. Robert Priester in at that nickel linebacker spot with the injury to Quincy Mauger. And just that redirection as you saw him flying through the air. And then realizing it was going to be a tackle rather than a knockdown.
3 different face masks on that one. It's Fajardo again with pressure on. And the Argos on back-to-back sacks, making plays. Robbie Smith at the bottom of the pile, as the Argonauts starting defense flying up the field right now.
Yeah, and big start for the Toronto Argonauts. As we take a look at that defense, Jordan Williams get more snaps at the D tackle spot with Jake Serezna out of the lineup. I mentioned the Canadian receivers being banged up. A few more snaps on defense for Canadian linebacker Fraser Sopik. And with a lot of changes in the secondary for Toronto from last season, Royce Metchie will be counted on to hold down the fort at safety.
Fajardo after the sack by Randy Smith finds Cole Speaker over the middle of the field, breaks a tackle, and is into Argonauts territory. First down Montreal, and Cole Speaker picking up right where he left off a few weeks ago against the Double Blue.
Yeah, Speaker with his 100-plus yard receiving performance coming 2 weeks ago when these teams met in Toronto. Off to a terrific start. Big target working out of the slot for Cody Fajardo.
21 yards for number 17. Moves it all the way up to the 50. As Fajardo will go run this time. Walter Fletcher, a little strict run to the outside and out in front. Pierre-Olivier Lestage moving people with this Alouettes offensive line that's been helping Walter Fletcher get up to speed quickly this season.
And we take a look at the Fletcher file from last week. There you see it, 160 yards from scrimmage. Not often you see a running back with over 100 yards receiving in a ball game, but Walter Fletcher piling up those yards after the catch.
Playing with great pace as well. Told us this week his favorite running back growing up, LaDainian Tomlinson. See a little bit of that in his game. Has another check down this time on second and medium, and Speaker reaches the football out, and we'll pick up another Alouettes first down.
Well, we talked about this a lot last week, Marsh, that it can be any receiver on any day for this Montreal Alouettes team.
Any drive.
Yeah.
They just pick and choose, don't they?
And this happens to be a Cole Speaker drive.
Jared Brinkman, a late substitution onto the field here, is Amani Dennis playing the boundary halfback. Makes his way to the sidelines. So this Argonauts defense trying to find the right combination to get a stop as Fajardo pops, looks down the field, and he will get brought down right around the original line of scrimmage.
As we talk about those Montreal receivers, you heard Kate mention in studio, Keon Julian Grant, a late scratch for Montreal tonight. Shedler Furvius, second-year man, will be the one looked upon in his spot.
Let's see where Fajardo goes here. Why not? Tyson Philpott got north-south as quickly as he possibly could, and with Keon Julian Grant out of the ball game, that means that after Tyson Philpott, the next leading target getter in the passing game for these Owls, Walter Fletcher.
Yeah, interesting when you look at Montreal's receiving stats, and for as good as they've been, and we've talked about them spreading the ball around, I think it speaks to how exceptional a start Tyson Philpott has had, that he had almost twice as many yards as any other Montreal receiver, Keon Julian Grant being the number 2 guy.
Successful opening possession offensively here for the Montreal Alouettes. We'll see if they can cash in with some points in a historic year for field goal kickers. Hitting at a rate we haven't seen before, over 91%. This is Jose Maltos, and he misses it. And it sails through the back of the end zone. And so Montreal takes the lead, but not the one they wanted. Cameron Dukes asked about hitting the wall. A couple of games of film. Our defense is figuring him out. He said, well, lots of film on me, lots of film on these defenses too. I'm watching it, and I'm ready to go in week number 6.
Greatness hurts. The aches, the stumbles, the falls. But with Tylenol, you can keep chasing it. Tylenol, pain relief for the champion in us all.
I'd do anything.
At PetSmart, you can save up to 20% on your dog's first groom with the Salon Welcome Package, so they can be by your side for all the moments that matter. PetSmart, anything for pets.
PGA Tour Americas, an international springboard for future global golf stars. 16 tournaments in pursuit of the Fortinet Cup, where 10 Korn Ferry Tour cards and the dream of playing on the PGA Tour are up for grabs. The season continues at the Explore NB Open at Mactaquac Golf Course in Fredericton, New Brunswick.
snack attack? Footlong it back with Subway's new Footlong Churro, Cookie, or Pretzel. Footlong all summer long with Subway's new Footlong Sidekicks.
It's time to grow your business. Create a website. How? GoDaddy. Coding? Nah. But all that writing? Nope. AI. Done. Built.
Let's get to work.
Create a beautiful website in minutes with GoDaddy.
Exactly what I was speaking about earlier in terms of the Argos' success in their first couple games versus struggles in these last couple. A big part of this is about playing from ahead in the ball game, right? Because it doesn't force Dukes to go chasing things.
This one up in the air, bouncing off the back of the intended receiver. This Montreal starting defense flying around once again on their second possession here.
And along the defensive line, Isaac Adeyemi-Berglund, first year here with Montreal. Expect him to take a bigger role in that pass rush in the absence of Sean Lemon. Tyrese Beverette, nobody fills a stat sheet quite like this guy, making sure darn near every column is looked after week. And Bryce Cosby listed as the free safety tonight, but in this defense, we expect to see a lot of people fill those responsibilities.
Nice snap, Duke's got it down. Now he's going to try to skip from 3 Alouettes, and he can't. Down he goes, and it's Jeffrey Canton-Arcou with Duquois out. They got to use more Canton-Arcou, and I don't think Noel Thorpe, Alouettes defensive coordinator, is upset about that at all.
Yeah, Canton-Arcou coming from the right side of your screen. Noel Thorpe is going to let players play to their strength. Canton-Arcou does a nice job getting to the quarterback. This his third sack of the young season.
The defense again, dominant early game, just like they were, and that looked like it should have been blocked, but it gets away off the foot of Haggerty, so Letcher catches the 57-yard punt, and Cody Fajardo, after a successful open possession, ended up going for a single on the missed field goal. He'll try to put 6 on the board and continue the winning ways of the Alouettes early in 2024.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold certified one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. The chill choice.
Every once in a while, let the wheel take the wheel. The new 2024 Ford F-150 with Blue Cruise hands-free highway driving.
Interrupted by dry eyes? Get fast-acting relief with Hydrosense eye drops. Made with a naturally sourced lubricant. Hydrosense eye drops.
What will you do when the power goes out? Power outages can be unpredictable and inconvenient, but with a Generac home standby generator, your life goes on uninterrupted because you'll have power when you need it the most.
The number one thing to prepare for is extended power outages. Don't make it so hard on yourself. Have a Generac home standby generator.
And if you call now, you will receive a free 5-year warranty. Call or go online now to request your free quote. Power your life with Generac.
Wendy's has a new breakfast deal. Mix and match 2 items of your choice for $4. Breakfast wraps, biscuit or English muffin sandwiches, small seasoned potatoes, and freshly brewed small hot coffee. Choose any 2 for $4.
Cody Fajardo against the Calgary Stampeders last week. It didn't start all that fast. It wasn't explosive like we saw the last time that the Owls played here on Thursday Night Football, but eventually they got the wheels turning, and all of a sudden it was a downhill train that could not be stopped by the Stampeders.
Yeah, it sure was. One of the things that really stood out to me is you look at that game, and yeah, they had to try and get things going a little bit, make some plays. because they were behind in the ball game, he throws a couple of picks, still completed 83% of his passes.
It was super high efficiency. They were down by 15 points at one moment in that game, and they needed to find some solutions, and it was the high efficiency passing attack and also the running game of Walter Fletcher that we started to see get them back on the path as we see Fajardo over his last 13.
Yeah, and obviously the quarterback doing his part, contributing to this outstanding win streak, the wave that Montreal has been riding.
115th game played in the CFL tonight for Cody Fajardo. As he steps out of the pocket, looks downfield, one-on-one. He'll pump and try and get around the edge. And somehow on the left turf, here in Montreal, he did stick that right foot in the ground after evading the oncoming Jonathan Edward, but it will not be enough for the first down.
And nonetheless, a good sign for Montreal when Cody Fajardo gets on the run a little bit. I think this is something that is going to help keep that Toronto defense honest in this ball game as they try to take away the big plays from his receivers.
We talked about it the last time, but seeing him run like that comfortably in rhythm, that looks like Cody Fajardo in the best season he's had in the CFL back when he was in Saskatchewan. And a lot of Alouettes fans very excited about even plays like that that don't produce points. Give them an opportunity to believe when he's healthy, he can be a true dual threat quarterback. Janarian Grant returns this 50-yard punt up to the 30. And the Argonauts get the football back, trailing early on by a score of 1-0. Cam Dukes trying to get him on the board when we return.
When you start your morning with Shreddy's 100% whole wheat goodness, you take that goodness into your day. Good whole wheat Shreddies.
Save up to 33% on select Walmart brand products. She nods in approval and places the tuna in her cart. This lady loves her tuna. She questions the ominous voice above her. Oh.
The Ontario Honda Dealers Indy Toronto, July 19th to the 21st, the 36th Indy at Exhibition Place. Racing, interactive entertainment, food trucks, and autograph sessions. Your Ontario Honda dealers present Free Fan Friday, benefiting Make-A-Wish Canada. You can experience the action on Toronto's downtown streets with a voluntary donation. The NTT IndyCar Series, sports cars, and more. Tickets start at $50. Kids 12 and under free. For more info, visit HondaIndy.com.
Introducing Little Caesar's new barbecue blast bacon pizza with barbecue sauce, ham, crumbled bacon, and strips of hickory smoked bacon, finished with a smoky barbecue seasoned crust. So delicious your cravings will have cravings. Only $11.99 at Little Caesar's.
Bacon, bacon.
You guys ready?
I'll pay for it.
We'll split it.
Split expenses with the RBC mobile app. Get iPad when you switch to RBC.
Thursday Night Football is presented by New York Fries. Give your taste buds something to cheer about at New York Fries.
Beautiful night here in Montreal after the rain passed through. I know our friends out in the Maritimes dealing with the heavy stuff right now. Hope that they get through unscathed as Cam Dukes will hand this one down inside the running game, trying to support him. But man, it has been a completely different story. First two games 2-0, last two 0-2, and it's obvious why.
Yeah, and the things that stand out, obviously completion percentage and the touchdown to interception ratio being huge. Again, not to beat a dead horse, but this is about the situations in which he has been forced into in the last two games, whereas the first couple of starts for Dukes this season, I think Ryan Dinwiddie and the Argos offense were kind of dictating things. The last couple games, defenses have dictated, and situation has dictated Dukes having to step out of his comfort zone.
Quick little play action this time, easy completion, blocking downfield is Rasheed Bailey. Makes the grab. The leading receiver for these Toronto Argonauts coming into tonight has himself 22, now 23 targets.
Yeah, and I'm kind of excited to watch Rasheed Bailey this season. You and I have talked about it. This was a free agent signing that I really like, as I think this is a guy who was always capable of bigger things, but just there's so much depth in the receiving corps in Winnipeg. There are going to be limited opportunities for him to shine. But here in Toronto, a different situation. He has certainly had an early impact for the Argonauts.
They use him all over the place. As here he'll be blocking as they run it right in between the tackles. And Kadeem Carey rocking down that near hash on first down. A good chunk, which is something that the Argonauts do a pretty good amount of, is run the football on first down and get good gains.
Yeah, Kadeem Carey in the offensive line. A key for Toronto against this Montreal team, and particularly a Montreal team that's dealing with a couple of injuries. You want to try and wear them down. I think for Montreal, as hot as they have been, Montreal has their eye on that bye week next week.
Trying to get to the finish line on their first third of the season. Toronto wants to disrupt it, as this time they go back down inside running game. First down Argonauts. And this will certainly make Cam Dukes feel like he's got a lot of breathing room behind him and lots to gain moving forward as wholesale changes here, substitutions going into first down.
And we'll take a look at this very cohesive Toronto Argonaut offensive line. Going to work with the veteran Kadeem Carey. Banging around in behind them.
Your fellow foodie Ryan Hunter.
Yes, sir.
Banging around that time with Darnell Sankey pretty good right in the middle. Great matchup to watch all night long as Deonta McMahon checks into the game. Dukes rolls to the left, blows it up, goes cross-body, and it is caught running away from traffic and down the right sideline. It looks like Richie Sindani, yes, makes the grab. Sindani, limited opportunities this season, just his 13th target. No touchdowns, but he gets a big chunk that time.
You're going to see Sindani motioning down the line as he's going to work across the field here. Putting himself in position, recognizes zone coverage. He's got a little bit of space, doesn't run through it. Sits down in the opening, allowing Dukes to find him. Big play after the catch. For the former Regina Ram, Calgary Dino, a little bit of time in junior ball with the Calgary Colts as well.
Dan Adeboboye, Canadian running back, gets the touch here, down at the 18-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 5. Second down and 5 to come as they rotate the backs. They've gone from Carey to Deonta McMahon, and now they put in the Canadian Adeboboye.
Yeah, pretty good three-headed monster in that Toronto Argonaut backfield. Wondered a little bit in the offseason if the injury to Daniel Adeboboye late last year maybe changed Toronto's plans, if they were looking at him as the heir apparent to Andrew Harris, maybe going Canadian in that backfield, but a little bit of uncertainty with Adeboboye coming off injury, but he's looked terrific through the first few weeks.
The Argonauts this season, just 8 score zone opportunities, 5 score zone touchdowns, both low in the CFL. They are in the score zone now, inside the 20. They'll check it down to Adeboboye. Makes the grab, right into the tackle.
And certainly for a guy like Noel Thorpe here in Montreal, who values versatility, those interchangeable pieces, an opportunity to bring the former Stampeder into the fold was too much to resist. And particularly as you've had Reggie Stubblefield injured at the nickel spot, now Dequoy injured at safety, Wall proving to be a very valuable pickup.
Miram Haralahu from 29 yards out. As always, swings through this one smoothly. Just 2 touchdown drives in their last 28 possessions. But the Argonauts are on the board in Montreal.
Save on Foods is giving you extra with Touchdown to Win. And every touchdown is a chance to give you that winning feeling. Every shop gives you new ways to save and extra ways to win. There's even a $1 million prize on the line. Shop with your More Rewards card in-store or online, and you'll carry that winning feeling into the end zone. Save on Foods, giving you extra.
Harvey's believes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So our Angus burger is made with 100% Canadian beef, raised without the use of antibiotics, added hormones, or steroids. Nothing broke about that, but you can still fix it however you want. Harvey's.
Flaming Clear 2.0. For those who've learned a thing or two, like Marty. Who knows the key to grilling is to let the grill grill. You keep the lid down and the night looking up. Refreshing, Slim and Clear 2.0. Why not make it 2.0?
Welcome back to our very special edition of CFL Jeopardy. Troy, you have control of the board.
Welcome to the Big Leagues 1000.
This league's 20-yard deep end zone means Cody Fajardo has more options close to the goal line than Patrick Mahomes does. Ben.
What is the CFL?
Yes, Canadian Football League.
Organization's 400.
I'll take bucket list accomplishment for 1,000. Not only is his CFL quarterback 5-0 right now, but he had a dream moment earlier in this year. His name was used as a clue in Jeopardy alongside Patrick Mahomes. He had no idea it was happening, but he messaged him, so he was able to catch it live. The only tweak, though, Marshall, is that he would have liked to have seen a Montreal Alouettes end zone. So, Marshall, what is the answer?
Who is Cody Fajardo as he goes rolling to his right, and Jared Brinkman on the team with a crash throw. And who is Cole Speaker? Well, he's the man with the football across the 50.
Well, Cole Speaker, this is a guy who played his first CFL game against the Toronto Argonauts in a sort of meaningless game in terms of the standings at the end of the 2022 season, but obviously demonstrating he's pretty comfortable against the double blue. 100-yard game already against them earlier this season, and off to a quick start here tonight.
Fajardo getting creative, rolling to his right. That's when you know he's at his best. They'll end off the first quarter here with another roll to the right. Chucks this one away into the turf in front of Reggie White Jr. Incomplete. Fajardo grabbing that hamstring, headed to the bench on that side, and hopefully that's just a little tweak and nothing that's going to hamper him. But on the final play of the first quarter, the Alouettes starting quarterback goes live. It looks like he's going to head down the tunnel here as they're going to end up sending the football away after the break. We'll see Cole Speaker with a big first quarter. We'll keep our eye on Fajardo. Great back and forth East Division matchup here in Week 6.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by Bell. Switch to Canada's fastest internet.
I'm a hot sleeper. First I kick the covers off, then the pillows.
Then me.
A cooling mattress can help. Let's do the perfect one.
At Sleep Country, we solve sleep. Right now, buy one pillow, get one free.
Hit by a snack attack? Footlong it back with Subway's new footlong dippers, like ham and cheese, 2 cheese, or pepperoni and cheese. Footlong all summer long with Subway's new footlong dippers.
TSN Plus brings big-time football to a whole new level.
Oh, baby! What a move!
With live enhanced data feeds of the CFL all season long.
I'm a fan. I want to see this more often.
Subscribe now and start streaming.
A new episode of The Amazing Race Canada, Tuesday on CTV.
To Montreal. It is a low-scoring first quarter between these two, but certainly both offenses going back and forth a little bit, feeling it out. The concern right now, obviously, is Cody Fajardo. We'll get a look at a second at the injury here, but that was a bit of a strange way for the Alouettes to end the first quarter.
Yeah, it really was, but I think this has a little bit to do with schedule. The Alouettes playing some tough games, playing on a short week here, and you know the first thing that every team looks at it in December when that schedule comes out is looking at how many short weeks they have versus their opponents and so on, and they start planning their prep. But this is kind of why, right, is wanting to practice accordingly, and this is something Jason Moss talked to us about this week, is managing your practice schedule around really the overall look of your schedule and trying to make sure that your guys are healthy come game day. They're doing their best to balance things right now, but as we said earlier, just kind of trying to survive until that bye next week.
Fajardo showing a little bit more discomfort the further down that tunnel he went as our crew got the shot there. They come out this time with Kendall Bennett slinging it down the right sideline. Incomplete, intended for Shedler Furvius, and on the coverage, it is Amani Dennis checking in, first-year player out of Carthage.
Yeah, Amani Dennis getting an opportunity in the lineup, taking the place of Mason Pierce, who had such a strong 2023 season for the Toronto Argonauts. A lot of new faces in that secondary this season, as I mentioned off the top, as they're trying to find just the right mix back there. Dennis trying to do his part to stay involved.
Late substitutions here as well. Some confusion from the Argonauts on special teams. So Jonathan Edward was headed to the sideline, stays on. And now Joseph Zima will boot this one away. Trying to drop it inside the 10-yard line. It goes into the end zone. And spinning backwards, and that's a no-doubter right there when it comes to no yards, as that's one of the players checking onto the roster, KD Davis, that hasn't been involved that much. And the guys who are used to the CFL rules are having a bit of a laugh at his expense, but Janarian Grant, a great return, 84 big ones against the Riders, really gave the Double Blue some life.
Yeah, and this is the kind of play, quite frankly, that you need when you're the Toronto Argonauts playing against this Montreal team. I go back to the Calgary game last week where I thought they manufactured some big plays, right? We ended up talking a lot about their backup short yardage quarterback, Tommy Stevens. They got a couple of their biggest plays out of their short yardage group, so looking to different sources other than your offense to provide a boost in terms of big plays and field position, I think has to be part of the formula against a Montreal team that's not going to give you a lot. Janarian Grant could be a big part of that.
Well, and he's getting some snaps on offense as well. He was in when they got inside the 20-yard line, and the check down was completed to Adeboboye the last time.
Non respect de l'immunité. Montréal numéro 46. No yards, Montreal number 46. The penalty is declined. La pénalité est refusée. The result of the play is a single point. Le résultat, c'est un point pour Montréal. Pardon. Un point pour Montréal.
Ben Major on the call. Our referee here is, so they'll take the single point and make your score Leafs 3, Canadiens 2. Back and forth with singles they go. Singles and field goals early on, but these defenses have dug their heels in early on. Adeboboye remains in the backfield. They'll get the touch here. It's Isaac Adeyemi Berglund. Gets to the outside and turns Adeboboye back in.
Defensive line flowing well to the football here. Adeyemi Berglund, the Dartmouth, Nova Scotia native, played a little Seja football here in Quebec before heading south to college. He and Derek Wigan, former Stampeders, doing a terrific job defending that one.
Second and 8 for Cam Dukes. They'll rush forward. He steps up through the pressure. A wall of defenders there. He throws it backwards, and it's completed. Darnell Sankey hot on pursuit of Dukes that time. Adeboboye getting another touch here and starting to wonder whether or not Kadeem Carey is okay.
Yeah, usually we anticipate kind of seeing Carey for a couple of series, Adeboboye for one, but back-to-back extended looks here for the Toronto native, Daniel Adeboboye.
And the Alouettes defense continues to mix and match who they're using in replacement of Marc-Antoine Dequoy, out tonight with injury. Tyrese Beverett getting most of the snaps at free safety, but everyone pitching in and forcing the Argonauts off the field as James Letcher Jr. picks up a skipping punt at his own 15-yard line. Flags are out as Tyson Philpott makes his way back out onto the field early on in the second quarter, on pace for what could be a historic season, potentially over 2,000 yards. We'll see how it unfolds the remainder of tonight, week 6 in the CFL.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Hydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
24 layers of flaky goodness in our new PC Flakeouts Croissant Donuts. Shop it now.
This week only at Domino's, get unlimited mini-priced pizzas for 50% off when you order online. Choose any size pizza you want, any crust you want, and any toppings you want. Oh, and any number of pizzas you want, too. Get 50% off your perfect pizza, or pizzas, this week only at Domino's.
Savory sweet barbecue perfection. PC pork belly burnt ends. Shop it now.
I managed to get the last room for $250.
I booked the last room a week ago.
I booked yesterday. Some sites panic you into booking their last room. Instead, Trivago compares hotel prices from hundreds of sites so you can save up to $50 a night. Hotel Trivago.
Zero sugar, 0 calories. PC Makwa cocktail flavored sparkling water. Shop it now.
Welcome back to Montreal as we take a look back at Cody Fajardo and making it rain to Tyson Philpott. A ton of plays against his brother. The first official matchup of the Philpotts, and lived up to the hype with Tyson getting a chance to play hero.
Yeah, another terrific game for Tyson Philpott. Busy night, his third 100-plus yard receiving game of this young season.
Montreal went on to victory 30-26 last Saturday as Fajardo remains out of the ball game after grabbing his hammy. Caleb Evans in the game at quarterback, and you can really see the development here of Tyson Philpott, what he's been able to accomplish. And obviously, basic statistics don't tell the full picture of a player's development, Dwayne, but this is pretty good stuff. Yeah,
obviously trending in the right direction, but a steep upward curve here. And I often think this for Canadian players is year 3 is big, right? In terms of sort of, that's where you think of the point at which they have closed the gap.
See what he can accomplish. Kicking off week number 6 in Montreal. A little punt this time from Evans. Wanted to take a shot down the field. He'll check it down instead. As it is complete, goes to Charleston Rambo. His first grab of the ball game, the Miami Hurricanes grad. And it will be short of the yards to gain, and so out comes the punting unit once again. And this Montreal offense starting to get a little bit bogged down. You get the sense, like when Caleb Evans came in last week against the St. Peters for a couple of plays, the rhythm just isn't the same, the confidence necessarily that Fajardo gives the entire huddle.
Yeah, and there's that veteran status, that experience, of course, of Cody Fajardo. But just the number of reps that he has had with these receivers, because you see even with Fajardo, he's grown a lot this year as opposed to last, just based on experience, familiarity.
Alouettes offense picked up right where they left off at the end of last season. Didn't go back to page 1. Felt like they were building something special, and they have early this year. Trying to hold on to it tonight is a big hit. This time with Janarian Grant, a 51-yard punt, and Adeyemi Berglund down there, Tyrese Pepperett, all the defensive starters working on specials for Byron Archambault's Alouettes specials teams.
The Formula One exhibition is extending its stay in Toronto. An interactive experience that immerses you in the world of Formula One. Get up close to F1 cars, see rare artifacts, and race F1 simulators. The Formula One exhibition Toronto, presented by TSN, is now open until September. Don't miss out. Tickets at f1exhibition.ca.
Touchdown to Win is on, and your favorite products could earn you bonus entries. This week, score big with Highliner Signature Fillets. Win big and save big with our weekly flyer.
He's got more nose in him than you have minutes in a day. He's 5 years old with 50 years of negotiating experience. But with Maple Leaf Prime chicken raised without antibiotics, there's nothing to negotiate except wanting more.
Voltaren Emulgel Extra Strength contains an anti-inflammatory that has the power to relieve your muscle and joint pain. It penetrates deep to relieve pain and reduce inflammation. And you can go 12 hours between applications. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Introducing Little Caesar's new barbecue blast bacon pizza with barbecue sauce, ham, crumbled bacon, and strips of hickory smoked bacon, finished with a smoky barbecue seasoned crust. So delicious your cravings will have cravings. Only $11.99 at Little Caesar's.
Bacon, bacon.
Don't miss the return of the global phenomenon critics call thrilling and endlessly captivating, just like being in the booth with Dwayne Ford. HBO's House of the Dragon. The new season streams tonight, only on Crave.
Thank you, by the way, Marshall, for that.
Great to be in the booth. Kadeem Carey on the sidelines. We did wonder what's going on with him, as it is Deonta McMahon on the field right now for the first snap of this drive. Cam Dukes flips it out, complete underneath. Rasheed Bailey puts his shoulder down as Cosby makes the play that time, and Bailey has a word or two after.
Well, keep an eye on both these guys, as you're going to see Rasheed Bailey coming out of the backfield. They use him so much in the blocking aspect of the run game, so they take advantage of the same in their motion, disguise some things, give him a little bit of a block look in the box there before moving outside. But big collision there between he and Cosby. The guys who like the physical game, letting each other know. We'll keep an eye on that battle as this one unfolds.
Carey is back into the ball game. They'll go right to him with a stretch run outside on 2nd and 3. Love being able to mix and match those as a play caller. Carey gets up and celebrates. The average depth of target right now for the Toronto Argonauts, crazy low, but that's a trend we've seen developing when they mix it in with this running game.
Yeah, so much of the play action stuff is naturally evolves to those short routes. And we saw it right from week one, or game one at least, with the Toronto Argonauts, is that's what they were going to build their offense off of with Cameron Dukes under center.
This time they fake the run left, pitch it back right, and go with the two-back center. McMahon gets to the outside, picks up a couple of yards, and again trying to find ways to get completions for Cam Dukes, get him into a rhythm here with a little over 9 minutes remaining in the first half.
Yeah, we've seen it even just these couple of plays with McMahon, with Rasheed Bailey. Put the ball in the hands of your playmakers, let them go get it, even if it's 4, 5, 6 yards at a time in the passing game. That still allows the first downs to add up.
Crowd into it on 2nd and 4. They want this Alouettes defense to get a stop, and they will. Stacked up in the backfield. Jeffrey Canton-Arcou is there again.
Yeah, the rookie continuing to have a tremendous impact on this defense. He and keep an eye. He's coming off the right side of your screen, Canton-Arcou. And Darnell Sankey up the middle. Just a case of pick your poison for Kadeem Carey.
John Haggerty, side-winding boot will drive James Letcher Jr. all the way back to his 11, a 52-yard punt, and now bouncing off tacklers and trying to get to the edge, but Fraser Sopik, the Western Mustang, won't let him get the edge. Jeffrey Canton-Arcou, big-time draft pick for the Montreal Alouettes. They've hit on so many first-rounders the last couple of years. Looks like they got another gem.
I want a hot dog, a juicy quarter-pound hot dog, topped with loaded toppings, like chili, cheese, and bacon, fully loaded with delicious toppings.
Give your taste buds something to sing about at New York Fries.
With generative AI on AWS, companies are already transforming how they work to generate new ideas and turn experiments into reality. AWS is the easiest way to get up and running, so you can quickly build and scale generative AI with security built in. With generative AI on AWS, businesses can push the boundaries of innovation.
You guys ready?
I'll pay for it.
We'll split it.
Split expenses with the RBC mobile app. Get iPad when you switch to RBC.
We know that the remarkable happens when East meets West.
alive in our shared passions, our creative pursuits. And here, in Sapporo, you too can discover the remarkable where East meets West.
Just where I want to be at 2 a.m. Oh, I wish they delivered locksmiths. Well, it's not all bad. I do have tots. Teeny, tiny, tittly tots. Got on board.
Welcome back to Montreal as Caleb Evans in the huddle still. Cody Fajardo being worked on right now, one of the true contenders for the MOP alongside Verdon Adams Jr. But profile of that man has experience, obviously, being a starter in the past, has been with the Ottawa Red Blacks organization, made his way here after Dom Davis left the backup role in Montreal to go to BC. He's fit in nicely as a short yardage quarterback, but he's got to do a lot more. Right now, if Fajardo doesn't come back, they'll start with a screen. Touchdown Argos!
Well, this is the guy we talked about wanting to set the tone for the Toronto Argonauts in this ball game. And Wynton McManus has done just that, the biggest play of the night. Thus far, first major of the ball game comes from the Argos D and their middle linebacker. McManus coming from the right side of your screen. We can see, I'm not sure Caleb Evans can, as he loops around following the ball carrier on the, the intended receiver on the screen. Bit of an overthrow there from Evans. Easy grab for McManus. He knows what to do from there.
You saw the frustration of Jason Moss, the execution on that one. It went sideways right from the word go. Couldn't get Lestage out in space. Bumping into offensive lineman. Donovan got in the way, slowed everything down. Waiting, just chase down the backside of this thing. Said, guys, I know exactly what you're doing.
You'll see Wynton McManus stacked in behind. Watch how he loops towards the middle. Mentioned Lestage trying to get out in front of the intended receiver, Walter Fletcher, on the screen. But as things get blocked up because of the stunt the Argos had on, Fletcher can't get to where Evans anticipates his back being. Number 48 in white, however, was there and makes a big, big play for the Toronto Argonauts.
Caleb Evans will want that one back. That is nightmare fuel for quarterbacks deep in your own end, just trying to get some space from your goal line. You call a screen, how to execute it, but it was a mess, and they paid the price. So 10-2 after the extra point. And Toronto in the lead. They have trailed in all 4 of their games so far this season by at least 7. 10 points or more in 3 of their 4 games, but they have an 8-point lead here as they send the football back to James Letcher Jr. Special teams coverage units for the Argonauts struggling throughout the start of this season, giving up a lot more than the rest of the teams in the CFL, but they're able to bring down Letcher that time. And this is always the tough part, right, Dwayne? You got to go right back to work.
Yeah, this is it. Shaking it off, overcoming adversity, learning from it, but not dwelling on it. Caleb Evans, now in his 4th year in the Canadian Football League, but in the grand scheme of things, still a young quarterback. We'll see how he responds here.
That offense as a whole, only 4 interceptions so far on the season. Fajardo's done a pretty good job of keeping it clean, but he is in the tunnel right now, grabbed his hamstring the end of the first quarter. So Evans at the controls, flicks this one out. And it's caught by Fletcher. There's a nice completion, catch and run. And a lot of what we saw when he had those 9 targets, 9 catches for 104 yards last Saturday against the Stamps.
Yeah, and this is a good get back on the horse kind of play. Another high percentage, get the ball out of your hands quickly, get a completion, get a first down.
I called something running away from Wynton McManus too. He's hot right now. He's seeing it pretty well. Evans in the gun. They'll go flea flicker here. Max protection. Evans sidesteps, looking for Cole Speaker, and it's incomplete. You can see the Max Pro, everybody squeezing down as tight as they could, but an Argonaut came firing through, and Evans a little bit disturbed off the point of trying to get rid of it. Incomplete.
And I think back, as I watched this play, to Caleb Evans' first play in the ballgame. Backup quarterback comes off the bench and they try to throw the ball deep. There's sort of an element of trying to catch the opposition off guard. You see Wynton McManus.
I think he thought he was going to be able to catch that and run.
Yeah.
He almost had another pick.
And Jonathan Edouard doing a good job of staying at home on the play, staying with his receiver, Cole Speaker.
And I'm thinking this is going to be defensive pass interference challenge.
Yeah, they're looking over there. There was a little bit of contact, as you could see where Speaker seemed to bog down for a step or two.
Montréal demande une révision du jeu. Ils sont d'avis qu'il y aurait eu une passe interférence pour Toronto ce dernier jeu. On va réviser le jeu. Toronto's check. Montreal's asking for a challenge. They believe there should have been pass interference on the previous play. The play will be reviewed.
So Dave Foxcroft back in command this evening as the replay official, and so he will look at it as Ben Major communicates with the gang back there at command, trying to sort out whether or not there's pass interference here on Jonathan Edouard against Cole Speaker.
Yeah, keeping an eye on the bottom of your screen. The lone matchup out there. Speaker tries to give it a double move, and Edouard, as he turns it upfield, delivers a little bit of a jam. Looked like a little bit of contact later in the route there as well. And pass interference, you think it's about that time when the ball is in the air. When you're looking at pass interference, that would be the contact right here that Jason Nomas is seeking a ruling on.
And so Speaker unable to reach it. We'll see whether or not it was enough to impact his ability to play the football in the air. As no doubt Jason Moss is going to stay aggressive in this game. Doesn't matter who's at quarterback. That is his mentality.
And I think when you look again at what the first play call was when Evans came into the game, and then going to this play at this stage of the ball game, Jason Moss is very clear in his intentions.
And this doesn't really feel like a reach either. This isn't, well, my backup quarterback's in, I'm going to throw a challenge flag and just see if I can find something. It's legitimate. They want to know whether or not there was enough contact to be able to slow Speaker down, which, man, if he would have caught that, his first half receiving numbers start to go off the charts once again against Toronto. It's been solid over the middle, but to try and stretch the field with him, big opportunity for the Alouettes. As Moss looks on, we'll head down to Ben Major, who has the call from Dave Foxcroft in command.
Suite à la révision du jeu, la décision sur le terrain est maintenue. Il n'y a pas de pénalité. C'est deuxième essai. Montréal perd un temps mort. Following review of the play, the ruling on the field stands. There's no penalty for pass interference. Montreal loses their challenge and a timeout. It's second down.
So there you have it. And as you alluded to, Marshall, really, no, it's about the impact that contact had, not enough to have determined whether or not Speaker could get to that football on the play.
So now Caleb Evans has gone from a pick six to Wynton McManus to trying to hit the home run on a flea flicker. What will he do? Throwing it out to the left-hand side. Charleston Rambo makes the grab. It's Fraser Sopik. Step for step, but Rambo will get an Alouettes first down and a solid throw that time from Evans.
And Charleston Rambo getting a chance to play in the slot a little bit, use that waggle. Quick break, bouncing it back to the outside. The linebacker Sopik playing inside leverage.
18, pressure on Evans, finds the laces, rips this one out to his left. And it's Rambo once again. And a little conversation happening out there in the boundary between Leonard Johnson and Fraser Sopik.
Yeah, try to get things straightened out there as Charleston Rambo hurts them on the boundary side on back-to-back plays. Figuring out how they're going to take care of that receiver coming off the line.
So Rambo goes to the sidelines here alongside Reggie White Jr. Extra offensive lineman and a fullback in for Caleb Evans. 1st and 10. Pressure on. Throwing into it. It's a screen into the boundary and bouncing off tackler Shedler Furvius in today for Keon Julian Grant, who dealing with some injuries from the warm-up and so was suited up but will not play.
As we see Keon Julian Grant on the sidelines. You know, that play call, not surprising, as I was kind of noticing the stats and prepping this week of Shedler Furvius. The curious statistics. Came into this game with 2 receptions for 1 yard, and that 1 yard was after the catch. Seeing him catch a hitch screen, yeah, you anticipate it.
Pressure on again, Evans gets it away. Up for Grant, taking it in the end zone. Rambo! Touchdown, Alouettes! And throws up the U here in the CFL.
So if you were worried about Caleb Evans' confidence after throwing that pick 6 on the screen, fear no more. He stands in with Toronto Argonauts bearing down on him here. Fraser Sopik comes completely free on the blitz. Evans hangs in just long enough to put it up there and let Charleston Rambo run under it for the touchdown.
Might not have felt like it, Dwayne, because it had that challenge in the middle. That was just a 3-minute, 8-second drive. And they were actually running football in place. 7 plays, 71 yards. In the end zone for Rambo. You're right. That pressure right down the middle for Caleb Evans. Did a great job of standing in and getting it over the top of the defense where only Rambo could find it.
Here's Sopik on the blitz as the man in his face. Evans recognizing he's getting man coverage, no deep help in the middle. Rambo takes the hole. I can tell you there's a whole lot of Kahari Jones to Milt Stegall highlights that look a lot like this.
Look at desperation on Amani Dennis's face inside that Argos helmet, realizing that Rambo had a step on him. And so Caleb Evans now has the pick 6 to Winton McManus and has the touchdown pass.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, big picture, psychologically, a key play for the Montreal Alouettes there is backup quarterback in the game. They're going to send pressure. The way you get them to stop sending pressure, make them pay for it. Caleb Evans did that.
Absolutely. Deonta McMahon back to return alongside Janarian Grant to some open field here. And McMahon trying to answer the touchdown that Janarian Grant had last week against Saskatchewan. Goes for a return of 43 as Noel Thorpe on the sidelines dialing it up for this Alouettes defense. Let's go down to Kenzie Lamont with more.
Yeah, thanks, Marshall. We look at the Montreal Alouettes right now, certainly caught by the injury bug, but if there's one thing we know about North Thorpe's defense, it's built on versatility and the ability to play in new positions. You go back to last week's game and how we saw Najee Murray slide in for Dequoit. Tonight we're seeing Bryce Crosby do the work. How about Gagne as long snapper in last week's game as well? And Jose Malto still the kicker. And with that, it'll take a full team effort. As we know now, Cody Fajardo will not return to the game, so we'll see more of those slings by Caleb Evans.
Big hit here, headed towards the sideline of Kadeem Carey as flags came up on the snap. And thank you, Kenzie. Confirmation that Cody Fajardo not returning for the remainder of
Toronto n'avait pas d'allié qui fermait la ligne sur le côté gauche. Une petite Saint-Vert. On va reprendre le premier essai. Toronto had no closing the line on their left side. That's procedure. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
And this is what we saw that hurt Toronto opening possession, right? They had that great return on the opening kickoff, giving Cameron Dukes good field position, ran the ball, get into a nice 2nd and 5, second and manageable, and then took a penalty to put Dukes in a hole. Same thing here. They got to break that cycle.
Trying to find some yards before the 3-minute warning. Dukes stands tall, bounces out to the right, flips it across his body, complete, and that'll be enough for the first down. A nice throw on the run. Slid that one into the waiting arms of Kadeem Carey, who goes for a gain of 16.
Been kind of curious to see this season how the use of Kadeem Carey and the passing game unfolds.
Dukes flips it out on a swing this time with Kadeem Carey playing the role of Walter Fletcher from last week for the Alouettes. Catching plenty of passes out of the backfield and trying to get as many yards after the catch as he can. The Argonauts still lead 10-9, but the Owls closing it down. Evans to Rambo. 3-minute warning in Montreal.
Hey, little fella. Big guy. You know we love you. But while our food has gotten healthier, your food hasn't really changed. With its powdered meat, spray-on flavor, and preservatives that make it last way too long. It's time for fresh meat and veggies. Real food with expiration dates that belongs in the fridge next to our food. Now, who's hungry? Fresh Pet. It's time for fresh.
Every once in a while, let the wheel take the wheel. The new 2024 Ford F-150 with Blue Cruise